Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're dialing in from around the world. It's Michelle here, live on our Mentor World Game Training call. And welcome to all of our new mentors, particularly our new flow consultants who have joined us this week. Good to have you on our call today. And very shortly, we will be being joined by Roger. And today's call is focusing at your company brand. So we've been looking specifically over this last couple of weeks about identify your identity and the 3 different types of brand. And last week we delved into the importance of personal brand and how to do that, and how to use Genius U to really drive your personal brand. And today we're going to be looking at your company brand and how you use Genius U to really do that, drive your company brand. So just while we are waiting for Roger to come and join us from his previous call, this is our chat box for today. You can say good morning, let me know if you are here, and where you're dialing in from around the world. And as usual, you can click on the new comments available, which is the little blue button here, so I can see when you've put your comments, and it will just automatically refresh. We've got Robin there already. Hi, Robin's on standby. Hopefully you're actually loud and live now, Robin, not just there on standby. So you can go ahead and say good morning and let me know that you're in there. And here's our current rankings for the World Game. So this is our current round 5. Floor has now moved into the lead position there with 15,000 impacts. Very nice. Thank you, Floor. Uta is a very strong second position there with 10,000. And let's have a look at the Genius dollars. We have got Vanessa. Vanessa has snuck into the top place with 1,505 Genius dollars. And neck and neck there with Tina on the Genius impacts and Uta at 600. So Vanessa and Tina storming away in this month. And if we look at our overall impacts and Genius dollars as well, our overall impacts today, oops, that's gone back to current. Total game impacts today is at, come on, go to the total game impacts. There we go. Is 622,435 with 388,806 Genius dollars. Our giving impacts will be moving very, very shortly because we have just commenced the whole company's purchasing as well. So we've just signed that off this morning with the team to actually get that started working on. So you'll be seeing that so you can do your company purchasing for the World Game as well. And Roger is here now. So hello, Roger. Good afternoon. Actually, I think it's good evening for you. You're in Brisbane, right?
It is, yeah. Evening already here. Yeah, 6:30 at night.
Wow. Okay. And it's just 9:30 here in the morning. I haven't had my breakfast yet, but I believe you haven't even had your lunch or your dinner either. So don't worry about it, everyone. We're just starving on the call. We will get through it somehow. But Roger has been nonstop all day, literally. So Roger, I've told everyone that we're going to be focusing on company brand today as part of our little mini series on the 3 brands. And let me pass over to you.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So as for anyone who's just catching up with what we have been sharing on these calls and with this countdown towards the conference, it's really about every aspect of what we have seen is necessary to leverage if you're going to be successful as a mentor, as a trainer, as a speaker, that every one of these is fundamental and key. But what's really interesting is that we've also noticed that with quite a number of mentors that are just getting started, or even ones that are quite experienced already, they haven't yet built up enough value to be able to actually deliver the leverage on, right? Like you can't go out there and actually fill up an event of 200 people if you don't have something to speak about at the event, right? Or frankly, you can't go out there and actually build a whole community unless you've got the traction coming in already from the community. So always be thinking of value separate from leverage, and never go out and try and build leverage before you got value. How do you know if you got value? You know you got value because when you got value, stuff gets attracted your way. Right? You know you got value because people are like, contacting you and saying, hey, I want to work with you, right? Or people are contacting you and saying, hey, look, have you got time to meet with me? Because, I hear you doing awesome things. And if you're not getting that, don't try leverage, right? So the people that are like, well, I've got this new book idea, so I'm not just going to go online. I'm just going to put a landing page up and I'm going to hope people come to it. It's like, no, because people, when was the last time you went and just started clicking on someone you had no clue who they were and went to their stuff that no one actually had where they had no proof that anyone actually worked with them, and then gone and bought their stuff? No one actually does that, right? So a number of people I see that actually try and go down that pathway where they're following the motions of leveraging, getting a website, but they're not actually building the value, it does not work. So Peter Thiel's book, 0 to 1, is all about getting to a 1 on value so you can then leverage it. Because then you can multiply it a million times, and 1,000,000 times 1 is 1,000,000. Whereas if you don't do the 0 to 1 and you're still 0, then 1,000,000 times 0 is still 0, right? It doesn't get you anywhere. It just spends a lot of time and money to get to that place. So the fundamental number one thing that has value is what we call your brand, right? It's your identity. So we, on the last call, went through the three different brand identities that each create different attraction. We went through personal, and we actually spent a lot of time in the last call going through what it actually means to build a personal brand, and why Richard Branson has loads more people following him than Virgin Group, because people actually trust people more than they trust a business. And same for me, like why I will invest time and effort into building my personal brand even more than the company brands, knowing that the companies may change in size, they may change in name, they might change in complexity or even types of companies and different brands, but there will always be just one brand, which is my brand. So I'm going to have that for life. And then similarly with product brands, right, which is the third one. So you've got your company brand, your personal brand, and your product brand. And all your partnerships are all going to happen around your product brands. And I explained on the last call how each of these three have got a different key driver. So always your personal brand is going to be about a personal site that is creating conversation. And I showed my example of my site last time. Always your product brands are going to be around conversion, which is about actually making sales and delivered and linked to a promotion. And then your company brand is always going to be about credibility. So we designed on Genius U the three elements so that you've got your personal brand, which is your personal profile. You've got your company brand now, which is what we're going to talk about on this call, which is how do you actually build your company up to build credibility. And then we've got your product brands, which is conversion. So if you go to Amazon, it's just like millions of product brands, millions of conversion sites where every single one of them is part of Amazon, and you go there to make a decision if you're going to buy or not from there, right? So we're doing the same with our store. We're already doing that with our event side as well. We're already doing it with the microdegree side. So if someone's liking a course, they'll go to the microdegree side. If they're wanting an event, they'll go to the event side. If they want a product, they'll come to the store, right? But it's all linked into one place. So I'm going to do two things, right? The first thing is I want to give you an example of how this looks, and then how this then translates into Genius U. So you've then got actions you can take right now as we're leading up to what's going to happen in the coming weeks. Do know that all this also is linked directly to the very, very first step of Yellow Level, which is the most important step, which is all about identify your identity, getting it set up effectively in the right way. And then we're now moving into the second step, which we go into actually designing your pathways, which is all about monetize your moment as well, right? So first of all, I'll just share my screen so you can kind of see what I am seeing here. All right, I've got one example, right? It's a different example to the one that I gave last time. So I thought, well, this would be a good way to show you how it's possible to really start designing up your different brands. And these are three that actually all got designed up just in the last 12 months to all interlink with each other, right? So this is all with Jo and Health Dynamics. And first of all, if we look at her pages, we have Jo here with her personal brand, right? So here's her personal brand. She had a personal branding site before we worked on Health Dynamics together. But let's look at what she's done differently now on this page, right? I said it's all about conversation. So you got a photo of Jo here, get back to health, ignite your personal path to perfect health. You can see here that she's already brought on Health Dynamics, be among the first to experience the Health Dynamics profile test. So she's evolved it and grown it, which is what you can do with your personal site all the time anyway. So she's got all about what that is, right? So you can find out more. Right, she's got her blogs, her videos, right, conversations, right. She's got more videos about her. She's got like where she is at. She's got her company. So now Health Dynamics is in there. She's got Back to Health. So all of.
Oh, we just lost your sound there, Roger.
Am I back?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you were just talking about blogs and Oliver, and then it went Oliver.
And then the key thing here is you can see you can get into conversation with her on any of these, right? So if you want to go to Facebook, you can connect there, and it'll take you to her Facebook page. And so, oops, it's meant to, but that one's broken right now. Okay, that didn't work. But on each one of these, right, like the intention is you're actually in a point where you can now get connected up with Jo wherever she happens to be. I'll see if this one works. There you go. All right. Well, maybe she hasn't quite finished her site yet. All right. But you get the idea, if this was working, is that these would actually take you to where you would actually find out more about Jo. You get into the conversation with her. But the key thing around all of this, if you actually start like coming from this space, is that someone would go down and go, well, I like this idea. I like the idea of these different elements here. What are they? and they'd actually click on one and it would take you to their company brand, right? So this is the company brand, which is all about credibility. And it's slow in opening. I already have it. Yeah, here it is, right? So Health Dynamics 360, where she's not expecting to make sales from here. She's just getting someone who's coming here to say, is this a real business? Is this something that I should be interested in? And you can see here, it's got all the different products that are available, right? The ones that are coming soon, the ones that are available. It's got more about where did this whole thing come from, right? So it's credibility, right? That this is something which has got like a base to it. And then there's articles, there's recipes. You can see she's not going to be like measuring this site by how much sales she makes, right? So it's very, very much around credibility. And then the third type of site, which is this one here, is a product site, right? Where it's all about conversion. So this is for the actual Health Dynamics page itself, where people can come along, they can click, they can actually take the test. You can say, why take the test? This is all designed off the back of the same as the Wealth Dynamics one. And it explains it all. It goes through the 4 Ps that we've gone through before. Here's the proof, here's the stories. So the key thing to this is always knowing you cannot achieve all 3 in the same place. You can't expect people to come and have a conversation, which is Blaze. Blaze is conversation, right? It cannot be all about credibility, which is Metal, which is what the company brand is all about. Or you've got Dynamo, right? Which is basically all about delivery on the product linked to Tempo, which is the when, which is now, right? Which is, so basically this is the arrow, right? So this here is one side of the bow, which is the who side. This is the other side of the bow, which is the how side. This is the arrow, which is the what and the when. If you do not have that, you do not have the whole basis of all of them getting connected up together, right? And every one of these 3 are all connected to the why, which you can see all the way through, right? Because it's actually there and shared on each one of these, right? Igniting your personal path to perfect health. So what's really important about this is you asking yourself, have I actually designed already myself in this way where it's super clear to people where to go for my personal brand, where to go for my product brands, where to go for my company brand in such a way that I can actually now direct people into these different areas, right? Once you've done that and done that effectively, right, and pull these together, and for any of you who are on the call where you're thinking, that feels like a lot of work, I mean, there is no excuse for not getting this all set up, at least in each of these different areas, right, within the next month. If not, like, just take it 1 week at a time, right? If you said, okay, I don't have a personal site right now, we'll start by just straight away today, going to LinkedIn and just upgrading LinkedIn. You can do this immediately, right? Like by just going in there and just using the edit tools to actually change it to be the person you want to be, right? And off the back of this, you can also say, right, I'm going to get my own page, right? Let's say we said, okay, I'm a trainer, right? So is there a trainer, a template, WordPress that I can actually follow? And what I do if I'm looking for something, a new template, I will go to images because it's the easiest way to see them all. And you can see them all here, right? Here's a coach one, right? Here's like, you can see them all. Like everyone's got them. These are all people who are trainers that are now like, taking up these different, and if you see there's like fitness trainers, but there's also like coaches, right? Like if you say, okay, is there one for coaches, right? Or even mentor, right? Is there mentor templates? So here's all the mentor ones that are showing up, right? Personal coaches. So you might say, okay, well, I really like this one here, right? So I want to have one just like this, okay? So then off you go, top 5 life coach, health coach sites. You can go straight to it. You can say, well, I'm going to pick that one that I like. Here's one. Here's another one, right? You go, this is the one I like, right? This has got all the features. Here's the link to it. So I'll go to this one. You go have a look at it. You basically see it's from ThemeForest, Mentor Personal Development Coach WordPress. Costs you $59 and you got your entire site up and running, right? And you go, oh, I don't know how to set up the site. It's like, well, just go to Fiverr, which is here. Okay, up my my WordPress site for me. So I'm going to go in here. I'm looking for someone who's a WordPress designer. I'll just search for that. Website design, there it is. Okay, and then up shows all the people who will say, all right, well, I'll create the WordPress website design, building website in 1 day, $150, right? Create website, $120, $90, right? Let's say you go, I want to go for the most expensive, $120, but $150. Between this one and the actual thing up and running, you can get it all done for $200, right? Done. And you've got yourself going, okay? So, and if you say, I want a copywriter, you can find copywriters on here. Say, like, put the copy together for me if you really are too lazy to do it yourself. But you get the point. If this is not something which should take months and months and thousands of dollars, we'd actually just get something set up which allows you to say, right, I've arrived. I'm here now, right? Similarly, if you're actually doing something which is specifically for your landing page, right? Just go to Lead Pages, get yourself set up here, try it for free, right? Basically, you can get the whole landing page all set up with full responsiveness, right? Driving traffic through to it, getting it all going on here. You can get all your templates off the back of that as well, right? So you can say, okay, I want to have like a really, I want to have examples, right, of a really strong landing page. What would be a one that I really like? You can use one of our ones of great landing pages, right? And then basically you can go out and actually look at the guys that are actually doing them, right? Where you've actually got like different people doing this and explaining, here are the very, very best designs, where you can then go and learn from the ones that are up there as well, right? I mean, this is how we learn. We go out there and we say, what do we really like the look of? Who's doing a really good job? Everyone leaves clues, right? Everyone's out there and they're actually doing this as well. These guys are doing it off the big branded sites, right? But you've also got these guys here, 100 best landing page examples, which are actually showing you all the very, very specifics on the best ones and how they're doing it, right? And why. It actually explains as well why these ones actually work well, right? And explaining it. So you actually can learn very, very quickly what are the things that you need to be looking at and the reason you need to look at it in a particular way. So anyway, you get the idea. Like, this is not something where you need to be, wait, hang on, let me just go to this, where you need to be an expert in any of this. You just need to actually be a leading learner where you're wanting to learn from it as well. Here we are on Genius U. And what we did on the last call last week is we went through the profile side. So on the profile side, this is where I was explaining how you set up your profile to be really effective, right, in terms of the details you're putting in. And you going through basically in terms of like what other tests I haven't done that I should be doing right now. And then basically going out, what's the best way to get reviews? Give reviews to other people, right? Like the moment you're giving reviews to people you know, you're going to be finding they're going to come back and give reviews to you as well, right? Reciprocity is the whole basis of social media. So like, what are you doing to actually get out there, connecting to others? You're like, I don't know what to write about myself. Go to the top mentors, see what they've written about themselves, right? How they've actually got to stand out. One thing you'll notice about all the mentors here is that if we actually go, let's have a look at this. They changed the activity ranking on this. I believe our team is going to be improved.
I thought we had fixed that, sorry.
Yeah, I thought we had as well. I don't know why it changed in the first place. But it looks like at the moment I cannot go back and fix this. So even if we base ourselves on activity, you can see how people are writing up their activities, the details about themselves, right? Like what they've actually gone through in terms of the information about themselves as well. Read them through, right? Find out what it is that's giving each person a particular niche on the information and things that they've actually got on here as well, right? But basically from there, let's just go to the company one, which is the company side here. And on this one here, you'll see that we have just launched the company side. And on the company side, we have now got these companies. We've got 34 companies on here at the moment. And each one of them, like, so here's Entrepreneurs Institute, for example. Here's Genius U itself, where it's already got like 9 reviews, right? If we go to Genius U, obviously Genius U. So let's go to Entrepreneurs Institute. In fact, coming down, it doesn't matter, here I am. And you can see that it's designed very similar to an actual profile page, right? And again, it's easy and simple to set up, where you actually are putting down what kind of a company it's in, what kind of company type it is, some information about it, what the top purpose of the company is, who's managing it, who are the team members, who are the mentors, and who are the people following it, right? And then as we are building this out, we're going to see all of the circles linked to Entrepreneurs Institute that are going to be in here, all the micro degrees that are linked to that as well. And of course, your company reviews and things that are coming off the back of this as well, right? Our plan of where we're going with this, many of you on the last call, you would have heard us sharing what we're going to be launching at our conference. And the people coming to the conference are going to be the first that are going to be a part of this as well. So if you haven't booked to come, you should definitely come, where we're going through how we are designing Genius U effectively as an Amazon for entrepreneurs, which gives you all the tools in one place to build your business. It's all based on these 4 different areas. We've been really building out on these 4 areas over the last week as well. So really getting an understanding of how, using the mentor section, we are now linking all of the different tools that you need to actually do all your digital marketing on there. So you can actually track for whether you're doing an event, whether you've actually got your products on there. You can track on each one of them how many people are actually visiting, who's actually interested. You can then retarget those same people to get connected back to those people as well, just like we do with all of our events. And then you can then track those people in terms of who's buying from you, what they're buying from you. And so I've got a far, far more successful strike rate in terms of people that you're actually doing business with. But again, it only happens if you build your brand. If you have a brand that people don't know about, or if it's too confusing, or if it's too much like everyone else's, then you can use all these great tools and it still won't take you anywhere, right? So it's really important we actually really build on the value side. So this is one thing on digital sales marketing. The second thing is all on the community building side, where we're actually going to be breaking down all the elements of how you make sure that as you bring a community on board, you're onboarding them properly, you're actually engaging them with them in an effective way. So again, all the tools that actually allow you to do that, all being built onto GeniusU. Same with all the partner management side, where we're actually doing this with all of the affiliate side in terms of actually who are your partners coming on board. I just came off an event call where Deborah Harris in Brisbane was talking about how she was bringing on the partners that are going to be at the event I'm doing tomorrow, which is the World Spectrum event. And everyone's getting this amazing learning that comes out of really knowing that you cannot do this on your own. It's always going to be about the partners you're working with and not asking the question, how do I make money? It's how do I help other people make money? And then connecting with them with all the tools that we're actually providing on the system as well. So for example, if you're on Udemy right now and you have an event on Udemy, Udemy does not give you the tools that allow you to just get up like 15 partners to work with you in such a way they then pay all those 15 partners for you, right? Whereas with us, we allow you to actually get all that set up, get it all going, and then at the same time as the sales come in, they all just get paid automatically off the back of that as well. And then the final thing is then how we then track all the financials, make sure that everyone gets paid out, make sure that you get your payment as well, and this happens as we're launching this and rolling this through from January on a daily basis, right? So it's effectively just like Amazon and how Amazon works, because Amazon does have a partnership program. They do make it easy for you to actually have partners on there as well, but they're doing it just for products like hard goods, like the ones you find on Amazon, not soft goods like the ones that you find on GeniusU, right? So we're doing all of those elements off the back of it. I know on the last call, we actually also shared all around the event side as one example. We're gonna have the same detail as this, which is actually showing how we help someone to run their events from the registration through to the scanning, community building, and so on. We're going to have this for each one of those 4 different areas, right? So we can actually see what they look like all the way through. And then what we're going to do from January is we actually bring the different intakes in, is we're going to go through 4 weeks where we then deliver each of these one by one over 4 weeks so that you're actually really set up with all your products or your events or your materials and everything going. And then you're actually then seeing the results you're getting off the back of being on the platform compared to just doing it today where it happens all over the place, right? Because right now today, if you wanted to really build a solid business, which can be doing $100,000 plus or even $1 million plus in training, you actually need to have your own learning management system separate, which you might use Udemy for. You need to use your own event management system, which you might use something like Eventbrite for. You need to have your own product store, which you might use Amazon for. But you're having to basically spread yourself across multiple places to get everything done, and there's no way for you to track your customers across all of them. Whereas with GeniusU, we bring it all under one roof, which means that you can actually track it all in one place, and it makes it super, super easy for your customers to find out the next thing you're doing and how to actually get involved in it, whether it's an online course, whether it is a digital product, whether it is a event, whether it is a certification program, all basically from one place, right? Which is why we're so excited about what we're doing here. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing here now. And for me, the most important thing is for you to be clear, just how clear am I about my personal profile, how clear am I about my company profile, and then the next step, which is what we're going to get onto next week, is going to be all about the products and how to get really super clear about your product brands and which ones you're actually most focused at, where at any one time, your customers need to actually see just one thing which you think is the next big thing for them to be part of. Maybe it's part of like a selection of 3 things they could choose from, but it's still not where it's overwhelming, where it's like, I have no idea what I do next, right? It's very clear what the next step is, because there's always going to be customers out there that want to work more with you. They're just not being directed necessarily into the best thing for you right now. How you do that and the pathways you create, and the way it's not just about you doing a promotion once a quarter, it's about there being evergreen promotions as well. So when a customer has done the first step, they can naturally be guided to the second step, and naturally be guided to the third step, which obviously is what GeniusU is designed to do as well. Okay, so Michelle, I'm going to come back to you just for any follow-up questions or feedback or anything else you'd like to add from what I shared.
Yeah, I don't see any questions coming through. I'm just doing a refresh. No questions coming through. Very awesome. Very excited to be going through product brand with everyone next week, because I spent yesterday afternoon, as you do, checking through the new web store and loading up a load of products and testing and being a mentor in the World Game Circle. So I had a lot of fun doing that. And I think you guys are going to be really excited about how we're doing that and how we're structuring that for you. So particularly those of you who are coming to the conference and are going to be in that first intake that we're going to work with in January, February, and March. So if you haven't booked your ticket yet, I put the link in the chat. Go ahead and book your ticket or drop me a line if you've got any questions about the conference as well. All right, awesome. So we'll see you next week for product branding. Have a great week, everyone, and hope you get something to eat soon, Roger. Good luck tomorrow with the event. We'll look forward to seeing how it goes. Okay, bye, everyone.
Guys, bye.